What scientific discovery would change the course of humanity overnight if it was discovered? Nuclear fusion. If we finally figured it out, it would solve all our energy problems as well as our pollution problems. Affordable high temperature, as in room temperature, superconductors. We're talking new transport methods, maglev and floating cars. No loss power transmission. Faster computing. New power generation methods. Honestly, it'll allow us to move so much further technologically, it'll make a lot of difference to the progress of humanity as we know it. An affordable and feasible way to neutralize CO2. Something that would immediately turn into water or oxygen or fairy dust. Star Trek's replicators. Imagine everyone having the ability to easily replicate food and anything else they might want at the push of a button. Wealth would almost become meaningless. Aliens visiting Earth with non-pacific intentions. The discovery of alien life within our solar system, even if microbial. Right now, there's no way to know if life is common in the universe. We could be extraordinarily rare. But if we find even one organism in our system, we will know for almost certain that life is exceedingly common. That will change philosophy everywhere. I think if true AI was created, it would completely change the world. There are so many fundamentals of technology that are changing every day. Just recently I was in a conference with a few guys working at the University of Toronto, and they said they were trying to change the way that we code. I think a lot of discoveries are often either world-changing or a complete flop. A lot of things that we do are out of habit. We use X formula because that's just the way it is. We eat X food because it's known to be healthy. There are little things all around us that could possibly be extremely dangerous, or the next cure for cancer. The most important thing is to constantly question why we do things. Prime numbers distribution. It would duck up all of cybersecurity in the world. Think of the effects it would have on banks. The fact that we are not separate from the ecosystem, and we are not a force for evil and destruction. If people would figure out that we are part of nature, things would be different. The ability to birth a baby outside of the human body. That would end maternal deaths and probably population growth would skyrocket. Time travel. Teleportation with low cost. That we all have latent superpowers and that some mantra would bring it out. Anti-aging pills. Parallel universe teleportation. Room temperature superconductivity cure for aging. Artificial general intelligence. Epstein didn't kill himself. Efficient cold fusion. Faster than light travel. Smooth direct computer to brain linking. Anything proving any religious belief would be a very immense upset that would shake the very fabric of every society on this planet. Not really scientific. But if anyone found an efficient algorithm to solve any of the NP-complete problems, there will be hundreds of positive and negative effects. For example, all of modern cryptography would be broken. Cancer would be easier to find a cure for. And society would never be the same. This is the short version. I'm sure someone more knowledgeable will answer people below if anyone is interested. Time travel would definitely change the course of humanity. We could always work towards the best outcome of every possible situation. It was proven beyond a scientific doubt that God didn't exist and we are a product of evolution. Cold fusion. It would change everything. Or anti-gravity. One would probably lead to the other. But it would absolutely open up the solar system for us. I am pretty sure many discoveries has been found and is behind a paywall. You know what I mean. There are some immortal species. If our body remains same after centuries, except for external causes, say accident, it would change everything. CO2 conversion/neutralization technology. This one will be vital. But at the same time, it would be risky as it would affect nature. Obviously we'd have to find a balance to reduce the amount of CO2 we have, without killing the various flora across the world. Genome replacement/revival to restore species from extinction. We probably are pretty close to this. As well as adjust the genomes of creatures so we can create/clone them with the genome we've created. Think Jurassic Park in that regard. Full dive virtual reality. What would be better? To be able to upload our minds temporarily to a space where we have minimal limitations of our body. Except maybe a time limit so we don't spend all day in there unless we decide to upload our minds to the internet. Teleportation. Feasible teleportation that's affordable. That can allow us to get wherever we want whenever we want, etc. These are just the top 4 I can think of. P equals NP. It would mean that every problem has an algorithm to take you directly to its solution. Right now, we think that some problems can be solved by plugging in numbers and solving the equation, while other problems can only be solved by making an educated guess and checking to see if it's either right or close enough. Nesting lengths into a linear material is an example of the former. Nesting irregular shapes into a sheet of material is an example of the latter. If we knew that there was a way to arrive at the best possible nest by algorithm, we could find that algorithm. Right now, we can't prove whether or not it exists. Real tales on people. Just think about it, you won't fall down the stairs as easily. You could climb a ladder to put up Christmas lights safer, and if it was like a monkey tail you could pick stuff up and carry groceries inside in less trips. Also, I'm not saying they would be covered in skin like a hairless cat. It would probably be hair the same type and color of the hair on your head. Not necessarily overnight, but an expansion on our current stem cell technology allowing us to grow whole organisms would be pretty monumental, though not necessarily for good reasons. If magic just suddenly existed, like, imagine going to sleep and then waking up to be able to summon fire. It'd be insane on how the social class and everything would turn out after. Fusion. Unlimited energy without pollution. It would bring down a lot of oil-dependent economies. If it was cheap enough, it would drive consumers to electrified transportation as well. Teleportation. Point-to-point travel instantaneously? It would be awesome. Zero emissions travel. If people realize that the only thing they don't account for is the one thing that will happen. So you could account for everything that you don't want to happen and then wait for the one thing you want to actually happen. Irrefutable proof of the presence of God, either there is or not. That would definitely change the world. If the ducking government would just release the UFOs to the public, so real smart people can make them work, then it's GG. The technology to live a lifetime in seconds. See how it goes with criminals. Maybe it'll help reform the more people with terminal illnesses who never had anyone can experience life in a better way. Or people with addictions could see the joys of life without their substances. Preserving consciousness. Time travel. A way to see dreams or subconscious thoughts. Immortality. Aliens. Time travel. It would literally change the course of humanity, and we might not even realize it. I can think of a few. Teleportation. Anti-gravity. Free energy. Time travel. One medicine to rule them all. Definitely extraterrestrial life. Questions about the Great Filter and carbon-based life would dominate the MSM for years. Artificial general intelligence. Being able to create a better model of the human mind, powered by the computational capability of something like a quantum computer, will achieve godlike feats. Things like a cure for cancer, design schematics for the most durable rocket to Mars, even new elements, all possible after creating an AGI. Ruins on Mars. No one knows what it is, so the space race happens again, having every nation strive to go to Mars. The ability to read the minds of everyone around you. It would totally change the way that we interact with each other, but I don't think it would be good. Stable teleportation. Say goodbye to shipping costs and the majority of transportation pollution related to it. Not only would it speed up shipping and transportation, but it would drastically cut down on pollution. A plastic substitute with all the same features, durability, transparency, etc., without the catastrophic environmental influences. Instant teleportation across any distance. If we could infinitely increase the speed at which objects move, the rate we could accomplish things would be amazing. Intelligent alien life. Cure for cancer and other diseases. Teleportation. Even if it can't be used by people, imagine the saving of ordering something from China and receiving it in Midwestern United States in minutes. I'm meaning not only saving money on shipping but the reduced environmental cost as well. Discovering that conscientiousness is only in our imagination. It's all unreal. But then how would it be possible to discover that? A foolproof deception detector. One of the very few things that might save humanity from itself. A full-spectrum antiviral drug/vaccine. If you could cure/prevent the common cold/HIV/HPV/HSV/etc. with one shot, the debauchery that would ensue would be literally world-changing. CRISPR at any stage past embryo. Imagine going to a doctor and asking to be an inch taller and they change your DNA right there and you grow. Obviously that's a pretty simplified example of what actually happens. Still, we're talking near, if not definite, human immortality and complete eradication of disease, even at embryo stage. Once this technology gets out there, perfected, and spread ethically, that's basically going to happen. An all-purpose vaccine against all STDs. You can kiss monogamy goodnight. Suddenly art degrees get much more popular. I hate to get into religion, but finding out how we came to be or how life started. People who are extreme about religion would start to fight on their beliefs. Time travelers and/or visitors from another universe. It would completely reshape what we once thought was possible, and it would make us all question our own reality and our own fate. Just imagine how humans would react if all of a sudden a machine like the T-1000 showed up in our present time. A few questions would arise. Why is it here? And what else is out there? Most likely, society could fall into a state of mass panic. Teleportation would have the monumental side effect of proving/disproving the existence of the soul. A parallel universe confirmed in time traveling. It would change humanity the minute it becomes known. I think religions would get hit the hardest. They would be in crisis. 1. Alien life, microbial on a small scale. Complex life on a larger scale and intelligent alien life on a major scale. 2. Warp speed, how to traverse the great distances between the stars. Otherwise we're looking at having to send a multi-generational voyage where the great-great-grandparents of the original passengers will be the ones to reach a new world. Also cryogenic sleep, so the original boarders will also be the first to reach a new world. 3. A true Earth twin, because that's the only place worth voyaging to due to our biology. 4. How to harness the full power of antimatter or lightning, for I hear that either could power the world for a generation, and I'm talking just one bolt of lightning and a small non-amount of antimatter, don't quote me though. 6. The cure for cancer, Alzheimer's, HIV and other extremely destructive diseases. A cure for all forms of cancer. A whole lot of deadbeat cancer researchers would have to cut down on their trips to Hawaii to attend conferences paid for by their research grant money. Definitive proof that religion is real/not real. Nuclear fusion. Finding extraterrestrial life.